Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. This is a paid request from Devonte. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. If you do use PayPal, make sure to use the family and friends option. Otherwise, PayPal takes a cut of it. I do have a CashApp as well, just people have asked about that, and those links are down in the info box if you wish to. I'll get to as soon as I can. And this is for Aliens in the Attic, which is a 2009 film, which it's one of those films that the cover, I do remember seeing at the video store when I worked there, and never bothered to see it because it just felt like an inferior version of Gremlins or even Small Soldiers among other movies. And that's kind of what it is. I mean, it's harmless if you want to show it to your kids and have that kind of, I didn't want to say Disney Channel, because I think there's a lot of actors here that are from that era, like iCarly, Drake and Josh, like that era of stuff with some of these actors and actresses. So maybe for them, if they want to see something for an 80-some minutes, but then I'm like, well, you just show them the Goonies, you show them, again, Gremlins. Who's too scary? We'll toughen them up. Stop being a pussy, all that other stuff. But was I a fan of this? Not really. Did it make me mad? Not really. It's just one of those, like, meh. I can't believe this cost $45 million. I'm like, really? Like, they really thought this would be a big hit. To put $45 million. It only made $27 million in the US. And the director is the same person that gave us Like Mike. Remember that film? And the 2016 Adventures in Babysitting remake, which I have still not seen because I like the original and I don't think it needed a remake. Let alone a cheap-ass Disney wannabe, channel remake thing. Just, yeah. Can't believe it. See. Now the story is you have this kid named Thomas who's a teenager who was a smart kid, but he's purposely failing his grades because he doesn't want to be looked at as a smart kid because he gets beaten up for it. He has an older sister and he has a younger sister. Their dad's played by Kevin Nealon from Saturday Night Live. He was in Happy Gilmore. He's been in a lot of other stuff. He's the dad. And the dad's disappointing Thomas and they don't get along the best. So they're, either way, the family, the mom, the dad, they're going to go to this holiday home in Michigan. When they get there, other family comes by, including Andy Richter, Conan O'Brien's sidekick. He plays Kevin Nealon's brother. And then his kids. He has an older kid and then two younger kids, all three boys. And then you also have Grandma, played by Doris Roberts, the mom of Raymond and Everybody Loves Raymond. So they're settling down. The characters didn't really do anything for me. The humor didn't really do anything for me. The kids are kind of just, again, they felt like Disney Channel type of acting, which I didn't grow with Disney Channel stuff. If I saw kid stuff, it was, Ninja Turtles or the Goonies or, things like that. And I'm kind of glad because honestly, like, I'm not sure if the Disney stuff was really be my cup of tea. I mean, I guess the closest was, there was a tape where I watched them Saved by the Bell, which has kind of that, goofy type of acting, but I'd rather watch that than the Disney stuff. Anyway, that's a whole other thing. If you grew up with that stuff, then maybe this would be more to your liking. So the characters are trying to talk to each other. Again, Thomas doesn't get along with his dad. And one thing leads to another. 4 aliens arrive in the attic of this holiday home. They're very small. They're green. And you have the leader, voiced by J.K. Simmons, J. Jonah Jameson in the Spider-Man movies. You have Josh Peck from Drake and Josh. He voices the engineer, who's the good alien, who is going to deal along with the little kid, just like E.T. Only instead of dealing along with the boy here, they only deal along with the little girl. You have two other aliens, a male and a female, that may or may not like each other. I forget who the female one was voiced by, but the male was voiced by Thomas Haden Church, who was the Sandman, Spider-Man 3. He was on the TV show Wings. Done a lot of stuff. George of the Jungle. And they're there because there's something buried under the house, some machine that they need to get that will create this beacon and start the invasion. And the rest of the film is these kids battling these aliens without ever telling their parents. And at times their parents are like right next door, like right in the next room, but they can't hear most of this stuff. And yeah, Kevin Nealon and Andy Richter and the moms, they never, even by the end, they never realized that these kids are fighting these aliens. I know there's a point they tell the parents to leave, but then they come back with a cop. But the fact that they're all, like, not one time any of them listen on the kids, hey, how's it going? Or they do, and they're so oblivious. It's like, even Small Soldiers didn't do that, which is a much better movie than this. So the aliens have this mind-controlling dart. I guess they had to think of something because they're so small, and so you're thinking, well, there's 4 of them. These kids are even taller than them, they beat them up. Well, but this mind-controlling dart, how convenient, it doesn't work on kids. You have to be a certain age. I would say I don't know how that works, but it's alien technology, but it's more convenient. Lazy booking, lazy writing. Well, when you have this mind-controlled dart, how do we make it so the kids don't get affected? Well, either they keep dodging it, or maybe the kids get infected, but then they gotta battle the other kids, and or they wear something, or they start wearing scarves, and maybe you have this joke, well, why are you wearing scarves? It's so hot out, you know. They do a heater joke, but it's like, well, you having a cold? And then they put scarves on, so they all have scarves. No, it just doesn't work on kids. Okay. I guess it also works on aliens, because later on they use it on one of the aliens and control it. So, okay. And they're called the Zirconians, the aliens. And you get little fights here and there where the kids are trying to use paintball guns. For some reason, the lead kid, his bright idea is to get a potato gun. Granted, I'm not saying they don't have like some machine gun lying around here, but still. Another familiar person, Tim Meadows from SNL. He arrives as the sheriff. He got a call. He says, stop yanking my chain. He doesn't literally say that, but pretty much. Then later he comes by, and then the parents who were out for a bit, they come by. A lot of the humor is the boyfriend of Thomas's older sister, who's this college douchebag. He gets controlled, and a lot of it is just kind of the aliens or the kids controlling him, and either making him slap himself or doing all these crazy slapstick pratfalls. Yes, there's even a moment where the grandma gets controlled, and the kids have one controller, the aliens have one controller, and they get in this big kung fu Matrix type of fight. So if you ever want to see Doris Roberts from Everybody Loves Raymond in a kung fu fight, wire fu, here's your movie. There's a bit where the aliens use anti-gravity and it makes the kids go up, but then the lead kid uses fire extinguisher that gets there and slow the aliens down. There's a point where the aliens get into the vents, but the kids are using these firecrackers to keep the aliens at bay. One of the few jokes that worked for me is they can't get their cell phones working, but there's a rotary phone, and one of the younger kids is, what do you push? No, it's a rotary, you do this. And then you see how slow it goes back before they call the rest of the number. I thought that was kind of funny, because I remember having rotary phones, and I would think the same thing about just how slow. So I thought that was kind of funny. That's one of the few pieces of humor that made me smirk. But I mean, like I said, the kids are not the worst actors ever, but they're just kind of given this script where they, by the numbers. The look of the aliens, there's really no practical. It's all CGI, and it's serviceable CG. I've seen much worse. I've seen much better. Granted, if I want to watch a kids' film involving Martians trying to invade, I just don't watch Space Invaders from the 90s, where the one Martian tries to act like Jack Nicholson. Would say I had more fun with that than this. Space Invaders from like 1990, 91. No, it's probably, was it 91, 92? I forget what it was. But yeah, of course, one of the aliens is a good one, and he meets the little girl, and they bond. And we gotta have it be cute, so it can play the music like an expert, like a pro, because it has more than one arm. It gets hurt, so she puts a band-aid on it for his boo-boo. The lead kid, I swear to God, all the time he had like this constipated face. Like, the whole time he had this... Like he couldn't take the crap. And I just kept focusing in when he was acting, like, you need something, you need some, something to clean the pipes, so to speak. Well, not those pipes, the other ones. Like, you okay, dude? You have a problem with some roughage? But, yeah, it just had this constipated look on his face. But yeah, the parents never find out. Pretty much by the end, the aliens get what they need. They start this machine. This machine can also... part of the machine can make them bigger. So J.T. Simmons makes himself bigger. The lead kid gets the idea, well, let's make these dart guns bigger. They ultimately, using his math skills, able to hit the mark. Thomas Haden Church made himself bigger, so they could control J.K. Simmons to fight Thomas Haden Church, while the engineer is able to screw up the beacon and reverse it. Now that he knows the humans are not bad people. The older sister of the lead kid fights the female alien. Everybody succeeds. The beacon is reversed. Josh Peck's character tells, hey, it's too late. It's we underestimated them. Invasion called off. And then the movie's over, where Josh Peck says goodbye to the girl they hug like his damn E.T. Not Eddie Torres, the extra testicle. I mean, like the Steven Spielberg one. He leaves, and then the kid's like, hey, Dad, I want to apologize. You were right. I'm going to take my grades better. And Kevin is, oh, cool. And then it's pretty much over, except I guess that douchebag still has the mind control thing, so because the older sister was dumped by him, she's able to control him and wreck his life more. So, yay, more assault. Granted, the guy was a douchebag, but it's like, okay. But how long are you going to keep doing this? Like I said, the movie, it just... I guess if you have nothing upon nothing better to do, and your kids just need something involving aliens that has not much in terms of violence or harmful stuff in it or language, or it's a very safe, sanitized movie. I just, thankfully, there's not a whole lot of juvenile stuff. I don't remember any fart stuff or barf stuff or anything of that nature. But there's not really much in terms of wittiness, except I wouldn't call it witty, but there's a moment where Thomas Haden Church and the female alien are watching The Mask of Zorro. And they see Antonio went in, and Thomas like, yep, even on this planet, the men are this. And then Catherine does something back, but the women win. Like, they're supposed to get the idea that these two liked each other. But I'm like, don't mention the Master Zorro. What's the phrase? Don't mention or show a better movie in your movie, which it does. It's very forgettable. It's not awful. It's not the worst thing ever. It's just, it will remind you of films like Gremlins, like Small Soldiers, like a variety of other movies where kids get together to fight either aliens or some other menace. Space Invaders, I mentioned, from the night. I mean, just... And I guess if you, like I said, need a diversion, 80-some minutes, the kids have seen... I don't know what the hell they watch nowadays. If you're a parent, you tell me, what do kids watch nowadays? If they watch that, Paw Patrol, whatever, 100 times, I guess you could put this in and not have to worry about anything. Wherever it's streaming, but take it for what you will. So with that said, thanks for watching, take care, and we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye for now.